Hey everyone, this video is designed to help you navigate the personal alignment recording process. We built this process to take advantage of the way the brain works. We build neural pathways that cause you to be the person that will do the things you need to do to get where you're going. We've made it as easy to use as possible. There's no complicated exercises or time or travel or study. We get right to the heart of the challenge. The plan is to organize your mind, bring clarity to what you're doing. Businesses have business plans, they have org charts, they have all these things to help them to organize themselves so that they can make better decisions and stay on the path. Athletes do the same thing. They build out diets, training regimes, and so forth. We just believe that failing to plan is planning to fail, so that is a big chunk of what we're going to do here. Nothing complicated, really solid, though focused on the stuff that's most important to you. So we are also going to, in order to do that, clarify your purpose, your values, your objectives, your priorities, and your goals. You know, who are you working towards being? It's not about doing the things that need to be done to achieve a goal. It's about being the kind of person that does those things because that's their nature. If you give a lazy person a pile of work to do, good luck. But if we change the mind of that lazy person to believe that they are hardworking, the work will get taken care of because a hardworking person will do the work. That's who they are. Our job is to move people from a state of futility, where they can never seem to move beyond some barrier, to a state of achievement, where they are literally able to move beyond these self-prescribed limitations. So, we're going to collect the information we need from you so we can build a recording specifically for you. It will deploy repetition, visualization, emotion, specificity, compression, habituation, and several other modalities that we use to change your mind. You don't need to understand how this works, don't worry, just like you don't need to know how a car works to drive it around town. If you want to understand more, there's a video that will give you more detailed explanation, but the purpose of this video is to help you to complete the questionnaire and produce your recording. First, I've been producing recordings for myself since 1990. I will often modify my recordings every few weeks because I have new goals all the time, and I achieve them. So keep in mind that the first time you go through this questionnaire, you'll be laying the groundwork for every recording you make going forward. You'll find that once you've listened to your first recording that you'll want to make some changes. It's super easy to do, super fast, and I'll explain all that. So let's build our first recording. The first thing is just make sure that you're registered. If you're not registered, you can use the access menu to go in, to register, to log in, log out, or to change your password if you need to. If you're not registered, you won't be able to use the process. Everything that you're going to do to build your recording is going to be found in this menu, the I1 process menu. If you take the steps in order, you can get through this process relatively simply. The items on the page further down, for instance, the PAR questionnaire, has data that you will fill out in the life purpose clarification. So if you don't do the work in number 1, you won't be able to complete number 4. If you don't do the work in number 3, you won't be able to do number 5, and so forth. So it's a 5-step process. I want to make sure that you understand that on every page, let's go into the life purpose clarification page. On every page, there is an update, a save draft, and if you are doing this for the first time, a submit button. If you want to save your work, you have to click this button. Save draft will save your draft, update will update the database, and then submit will be for the first time that you do this. I've obviously been in this record before, so it says update. So make sure you do that anytime you are saving your work. On these pages, you'll find on many of the pages there are tooltips that look like this. Instead of cluttering the page with a lot of instructions, we put a lot of the instructions in a tooltip. So if you just hold your cursor, hover over the I button, it will bring up directions for that particular field. We're going to start with the life purpose clarification. Again, this is step number 1. And so there are some pretty heady questions in here. The first one is, what would you say is your life purpose? And this is something that a lot of people haven't thought about. So if you already have a pretty good idea or something that you want to put in here, go ahead and add it in there. If you don't, then you can just take a shot at something like this. This is something that I came up with. And you can just update here if you want to save it. Okay, and my submission was saved, but I'm going to go back into this page. And if you look here, there is a life purpose generator worksheet. And what this will do is, if you fill these fields in, it will give you some suggestions. It uses an AI that will give you some suggestions to help you fill out your life purpose statement. And the statement is 1 or 2 sentences. But I'm going to go ahead and fill some of these in. You don't have to fill in all of them, but I'm going to fill in a number of them, because the more you fill in, the better results you'll get. Let's see, that's not what I meant to do there. Okay, and I'll fill in one more. Okay, now if I go down, check this box, run the life purpose statement generator, and do an update, it'll take a few seconds, and bada boom, bada bing, you'll get some suggestions. If you want to use them, you can cut and paste and put them in here. But this is really helpful to a lot of people, because a lot of people have never thought about the purpose of their life. If you know what the purpose of your life is, it makes a lot of your decisions so much easier. So I'm not going to use any of these. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next step, which is values and objectives. The values and objectives page is, and you'll see the life purpose on almost every page, as you see here. The values and objectives is basically where you say, these are the things that are most important to me, the areas of my life that are most important. And so on this value, I'm going to say, let's say financial independence. Okay, and you can see I probably already filled this out before. And my goal for or my objective for this is a net worth of $10 million, which I think is good for someone like me. And then I'll add it. And then it gives me another one. So I'm going to plug the next one in, which is physical health. I think that's very important. So I'm going to plug that in. And don't mind me, I'm going to go through these on the screen just so that you can see me going through this process. And these are my own personal ones, and I definitely don't mind sharing them with you. So I'm going to add another one. So let's do personal relationships are very important to me. People in my life that are, I'm just going to go through here and fill these out. Since I've already done it, I want to enjoy my life, athletic ability, and highly informed and educated. Those are the areas that are important to me, and then I'm going to fill these in. Personal relationships, I want to have good relationships with the people important to me. This is really important to me, and I'm not putting things in there like own a boat or drive to the East Coast or anything like that. I'm putting in my top values, and we ask that you put in at least 3. And just a couple more here. And one more. Okay, once that's done, then you just submit. And that's the end of that step. And anytime you finish one of these, it's going to tell you that your responses were submitted. So now I'm going to go to 3. Now I've put in all of these values. Now this next step is to put them in order and say what's most important to me. So for me, the most important is my physical health, because I figure if I'm dead, then who cares? I'm emotionally healthy because if I'm alive and crazy, who cares? And then personal relationships. And then priority 4 is going to be financial independence is pretty important to me. Then next is my athletic ability. I'm an athlete and it's very important to me, and then enjoying my life, and then my education, being informed and educated. So I submit this. Now, very interestingly, my priorities are in order. And the value of this is pretty simple, and that is if I have to make a decision between something that's going to, help me to be financially independent or maintain my financial independence and my athletics, then this is going to take priority. If I need to work out and it's painful, that's probably more important than just enjoying my life. Being educated is important to me, but it's not as important as my personal relationships. So this is an extremely useful tool. Next step is a much longer process, and this is a multi-page form. So this has multiple pages on it. If you want to move around, you can use these tool tips. You can use this progress bar to move around. Just click on the page that you want to go to. The update button is the very last page. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start filling this out. This is the name that I want in my recording. The recording is going to call me by name. And so I put the name in here that I want to be called by. Let's see. So then it's asking me a saying that I would like to hear in this recording. So this is something that I like to hear every day. And it is about focus, because I really truly believe that focus should be the focus. And that may not make sense, but it is. The more I focus on being focused, the more I get done. And this one, we use the speaking style of famous personal development writers, or the writing style in the recordings. Now, you may see somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk. If you choose this, then you'll notice that in the recording it's going to have the speaking style of Gary Vaynerchuk. We don't use their voice. That's not our property. We can't give that away. But if you have somebody that you like, you could just say Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar might already be in the list, but I'm going to put that anyway. And there you go. Okay. And again, if you're not sure what to do here, the instructions are here in the tooltips. Okay. Life purpose, it's here. It's going to show up on almost every page. And then this one is basically a perspective statement. It's like, what is my perspective on having this life purpose that I have here? What is the perspective? And there's mine. And then I just click next, go to the next page. And if I want to go back, I can always go back to the purpose page by clicking this. But I'm in the values page. And this page asks a question. Although we listed the priorities, or our life values, our priorities, we didn't say which ones need the most focus now. And so what we do is we don't work on all of your values. We find the ones that are in the most need of work right now and work on those. So I would say right now, financial independence is probably the key area for me that needs work. Physical health is the second highest. And then I would say personal relationships, because my personal relationships are pretty good, but I always want to have these in my priorities. My physical health, I've had a few health challenges lately, so I want that up there. And then financial independence, I'm moving to another level financially, so that is an important one for me. So I click next. Okay, the next page is, it takes those choices and then we work on each one of them. For instance, this is financial independence, so objective 1. And I'm going to go in here and choose the objective for that one. So this was, I want a net worth of $10 million, blah, blah, blah. My goal here, goal 1, is I want to have 3 real estate deals in play and the iteration of this website by a certain time. So let me put this in here. I don't know how that other stuff got in there. I must have put it in there before. And then a deadline. Because without a deadline, all this stuff is meaningless. There's no use in making goals if you're not going to give them a deadline. So I have some travel to do on August 13th. I'm going to Greece, so I'm going to say August 10th of this year. And here's a tool tip again that gives you information about each of these to help explain them. And then the emotions that I'm going to feel, I would say joy, pride, and confidence. Okay. Now those aren't going to be in a list for you unless you filled them out before. They're just in there because I've been in here playing around a lot. So success that I've had, I managed the growth of a couple of pretty significant companies, and I feel like that is the proof for me. So I'm going to plug that in. Help build a mortgage bank. another company without any training or experience, and it was really this proof that I could kind of do things that I want to do. You may have some things that you did athletically, some leadership roles, and so forth. You can plug those in here, but it's proof. So the next thing is a system of activities. So it doesn't matter what my goals are if I don't have some kind of a system to get me there. So 2 4-hour work blocks daily, working 6 days consecutively, and resting and recovering on the 7th. Deploying financial projections that make perfectly clear where I am compared to where I want to be, and that also clarify where I am currently headed. And then a new habit. So this is instantly starting my morning routine at 5:45. That's something that I'm doing now. I've been working on this for a little while. Going to bed at 11, reading a book at 10 every night, and then a belief. The wonderful thing about beliefs is that they're really choices. You can choose to believe something or not. So I always choose what I want to believe, and then I just program my mind to do that. So I'm going to say next, and it's going to take me to the next page. Now, pages 2 and pages 3 are kind of the same to fill out, so I'm going to pause here, fill those out, and then go on to the vision portion. Okay, after finishing the goals, and there are 3 of them, we only focus on 3 goals. The reason we do that is that the research has shown that having more than 3 goals simultaneously typically leads to not getting any of them achieved. Having 1 goal to focus on, chances are very high that you'll achieve it. If you have 2, chances are pretty high. 3, chances are really pretty good that you could get them all done. Maybe not necessarily, but if you stretch yourself, you can. And something happens when you get to 4 where it just goes off a cliff, and people are may not even achieve 1 of their goals. So we work on 3, 1 for each of the areas that we have in our highest value areas that need most work now, and that's what these are. So here, for this one, we're going to put in our objective. We're going to put an objective for this one and an objective for this one. These are the 3 areas that we chose that need the most work right now, right? That need the most focus. So this is a vision. This is what it's going to look like when you get there. So I'm going to plug this in, and it talks about how things are going to be, what they're going to look like, who's going to be there. It is a picture of what it's going to look like when you're there. Now, if you have trouble coming up with that, then sometimes you just have to sit down and just make a list. And because an AI is going to take this and convert it into something that you can use, you don't necessarily have to have the best English or write this out in some way. Just make a list. Make a list of the things that you think are going to be there when you get there. You might say, have a 10,000 square foot house, or you might say, I live in the country, or you might say, all my friends are around, or you might say, I weigh 140 pounds. Whatever those things are, just make a list in here if you're not that good at writing. And then next, click next. And then we're going to go in and talk about the identity traits that make you the most effective and the opposites of the ones that hold you back the most. So the first 3, for me, I'm obsessive, I'm focused, I think I'm well informed and intelligent, and then I'm pioneering and creative. But these other ones, connected and outgoing, I tend to be a bit of an introvert. So I have worked on being different than that. I'm painstaking, I'm not always willing to suffer through things, but I'm getting better at it. And then rigorous, because sometimes I skip the details, so I'm avoiding that. I want to do the opposite. So this is going to be part of the conversation that I'll be having with myself on a daily basis through these recordings. It basically says that this is what I am, regardless of what I already think, because if I tell myself this enough, I will believe it. So let's go next. The next thing is the things that I'm grateful for. So gratitude is a very powerful tool. So I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to tell, I'm just going to plug these in. These are going to be used to set the mind into a specific state once you get the mind into that specific state, it makes it a lot easier to program. So then next, on the next page, this is very interesting. We have voices here that you can use to for your recording. So if you want to choose one of these, right, you can listen to them here. So let's see this.
This voice choice is Echo. Choose the Echo voice if this sounds best to you.
So maybe you don't like that voice. So
This voice choice is Alloy. Choose the Alloy voice if this sounds best to you.
let's say I like Alloy. I just go up, I choose Alloy, and I click Update, and bada boom, bada bing. I'm done. There's nothing else to do. I go in and I click the Produce New Recording button. If I filled in all the fields, then this is what will happen. You'll basically get a blank screen for a while, and I don't know if you can see this, but in the browser, the icon for Intent 1 is spinning. As long as that's happening, this is recording, and this will take a little while. This might take 3 or 4 minutes because it's gonna take everything that you written, it's gonna send it to an AI. The AI is gonna write a script, and then the script is gonna get sent to another AI that's gonna build the voice files, and I have to build 8 of them just because of the limits in size, and then combine them back into one. And I'm going to pause this until this is done, and when it's done, then I'll show you what the screen will look like when it comes back up. But keep in mind that this could take a few minutes. Just let it run. It might slow down your machine because it's moving a lot of stuff back and forth across the network, but it's well worth it. Okay, once it's done, what you'll see is a list. There's a couple of links here on the screen. There also is this script for your recording. If you want to read it, you can copy it and paste it, put it somewhere if you want. But this is basically what the script says in the recording. If it worked and you click this link.
Hey Skip, welcome to this most important moment in which you create a mental reset.
You'll get the recording that will show up, and if you want to download it, you simply click this link. And although you can't see it, it's now downloading onto my hard drive. And you could do that on your phone or some other device that you are running the browser on. And that's basically all there is to it. Once you've run the recording for the first time, you can always come back, use the Access Your Recording tool, and you can do this to...
Hey Skip, welcome to this most important moment in which you create a mental reset.
Or you can just use this to click it to download it onto your device. So you can download it on your phone, then you can come back and download it onto your hard drive, or you can download it wherever you want. So that's it. I hope that helps. And there'll be more video to give you a better idea of why it works and how it works, the process, but this should get you through the process and get your recording done. All right? Thanks a bunch, and good luck to you guys. The best to all of you.